Hi, morning folks, or afternoon, you should be watching this, but it depends where you are in the world. So I hope you're well, had a nice weekend, managed to rest somewhat. So what I want to do first off today is have a bit of a quiz, okay, to make sure that you're actually taking on board and actually remembering the first 3 lessons work, okay? And then we're going to move on to a new topic in about, 10 minutes or so, see how this works with the video. I haven't tried doing a quiz through a YouTube video before, so we'll have to try, see how we go, okay? So grab yourself a bit of paper, grab yourself a pen, and we'll see how this works, okay? It's only 7 questions, just to see if you've actually got some of this knowledge in your head, okay? So question 1. What are the 4 functions of money? So this time last week, you should have been, we introduced a new unit 3, and the first topic we looked at were the 4 functions of money. So we're looking for the specific vocabulary. So pause the video there and give yourself 30 seconds or so, and then carry on. Okay, number 2. Explain each one. So what does each one mean? Each one uses some very specific terms. What does each one actually mean in real terms? Pause the video now. Okay, 3. What is a commercial bank? Pause the video now. Okay, 4. What services do commercial banks offer? Pause the video now. 5. What is a share? Pause the video now. 6. What is a stock market or stock exchange? And finally, 7, why do people want to own shares? There are 2 reasons. Can you remember? Okay, so hopefully you've got something down for each of these 7 questions. So as I said, just a quick knowledge check, see where you're at, see if you're actually remembering what we're doing in class. So let's talk through some answers now. So you can mark your own, obviously, and I'll explain and go over some of these key terms once again, okay? So we're going to go through 1 and 2 together. So what are the 4 functions of money, and explain each one. So in no particular order, 1 function of money is medium of exchange. What this means is that money can be exchanged for goods and services and is widely accepted. You can use it to exchange money for goods and services. 2, unit of account. This means that we can assign value to goods and services, and it allows comparisons to be made because it is a unified measure of value, and you can assign a monetary value to different products and make comparisons. Store of value. The value of money holds over time. Therefore, it can be saved and used in the future. 4, a method of deferred payment. Money can be borrowed and paid back at a later date. It basically allows for debts and allows for the transfer of debt and funds in the future. So a method of deferred payment. So you need those particular terms. Your descriptions might vary slightly, but they need to convey that same meaning. Number 2, what is a commercial bank? It's a bank that provides banking services to consumers and businesses. Okay, so what services do commercial banks offer? Well, obviously they hold deposits and pay interest on those deposits. They offer loans such as credit cards, mortgages, and overdrafts. They offer services such as transferring money from one account to another, or bill payments or payments internationally. They offer financial advice on things such as tax and pensions, and they often offer currency exchange. Okay, there are a few more, but I think they're the 5 main things that I would look for when talking about commercial banks. Okay, 5, what is a share? It's a share is an individual part of the total issued shares of a company. Or you could say it's a small part of ownership of a larger company. Okay, so a share is one small slice, if you will, of a business. So if you think of a business like Apple and you think of it as a pizza or a cake and you've sliced it into tiny microscopic slices, each of those slices would be a share of that business, a share of that pizza, for example. That's what a share is. So it's a small part of a total business. So if you own a share, you own a small part of a business. 6, what is a stock exchange? Very simple. It's a market where public limited companies are, sorry, let me start again. So it's a market where the shares of public limited companies are publicly traded. So they trade those shares that we talked about in the previous question on the open market. Why would you want to own shares? 2 reasons. Because you could get a dividend payment, so you could receive payment for owning that share. So you could receive a dividend payment, which is a share of the profit paid to shareholders. So if the business is making profits and they choose to pay dividends from that profit, then you would get a share of the profit, which is called dividend. And the final reason, and probably the bigger reason, is that the share could appreciate in value, it could go up in value, so therefore it could be sold on at a profit. It could be sold on for more than you originally paid for it. Okay? So I think we'll end this video here so it doesn't get too long, and then we'll have the lesson content on a second video. Okay, so if you've got any gaps there, make sure you go back through the workbook, you go back through my previous YouTube videos, make sure that you are happy with all of these key basic concepts. These are just the basics. You should know the answer to all of these questions. Okay?